What God does individually, he will do in the church world. And I'll just say that there are systems that are in the church world that have become corrupt or out of date, or for some reason they don't work anymore. They're not producing the fruit that God wants. There are methods and programs that may have at one time been inspired, but they're not producing the fruit that God wants anymore. They're church models. What I mean by church models is actually, how do we do church? You know, there's a way to, so to speak, do church. We have a building, and then we do this, and then you get that, and then you put this together, and you see, they're church models that aren't producing the fruit that God wants. And even some individual churches and ministries that I believe are not producing the fruit that God wants them to produce anymore. And one great example there was Ephesus. If you remember in Revelation, there was this great church. They had a move of God, and God comes and visits them. Jesus visits them, so to speak, in the first part of the book of Revelation. And he says, guys, you got this right, but if you don't get this part right, I'm going to remove your lampstand. Which what he means is, what he's telling them, I'm going to remove that church. I'm going to remove what was happening because there's no fruit that I want there anymore. You see, God is after fruit. I want you just to think about that a minute. Do you think God's getting the fruit out of the church that he wants to have, out of the system that he wants to have? Think about it. Think the way God thinks. Get your mind off of, oh, but it's always this way. Oh, but is God getting what he wants? Is he accomplishing what he wants? Is he getting hearts that are amazingly in love with him, committed to him, radical? Is that what God is getting?